Over the last 3 weeks, two individuals have lost their lives after their vehicles collided into prefabricated homes that were being transported on the highway during the nighttime. The latest incident prompted the Ministry of Transport to implement a sudden and severe change to the way these structures are transported.
While they do have the permission to transport these oversized loads on the highway at night time, that the oversized load and in particular houses must be disassembled, which means that it must be in parts.
But what the Ministry of Transport did not foresee is that this decision would bring the industry to a screeching halt. Today, News 5 sat down with executives from 4 leading prefab home builders, along with a major transport company out of Spanish Lookout. Their concerns are numerous.
It's practically a full shutdown of our business, our way of operation. Prefab homes is built at our site and transported as a completed unit to the customer's house site. So to say that we cannot transport prefab houses anymore is basically like shutting down our business. It's a completely different method. And just to say you can do a house in pieces and parts is actually not even realistic.
Industry stakeholders contend that the cost to consumers would increase exponentially if the newly implemented regulations are upheld. Builders will have to factor in the cost of employees working off-site, housing, as well as transportation for tools and materials. Not only will their approach change completely, but those structures will no longer qualify as prefab homes.
So that is transportation, housing, residence, food, everything, whereas where most of us home builders across the country, there's home builders spread across the entire country, north to south, all of them have crews of workmen right in their area that come and work on their houses. And so when the house is completed, they send a small crew of people out for one day, usually, to deliver and set up the house on its place.
Today, these companies have deadlines to meet and homes to deliver, but the recently imposed regulations have created a literal roadblock for an industry with dozens of home builders across the country. When it comes to the recent tragedies, they admit that the loss of life cannot be overlooked. They contend, however, that their operations have an excellent track record because they've been following all the mandated safety protocols.
What I see is that like we already heard, that the houses have to be lit and you have to mark them good and have a proper escort, which I believe has happened at this last accident, but drunk driving was involved, so then it doesn't really matter how much light you have. If there's drunkenness involved, then I think that is the bigger picture here.
We have a vehicle going ahead with proper headlights, functioning headlights on, 4-way flashers, and strobe lights on the roof, both amber and white, forward-facing and rear-facing. We have strobe lights on the truck. We have strobe lights on every corner of the house, on all 4 corners. We have lights, floodlights that literally light up the entire house like it's daylight. You could see it from miles away that there's a house on the road. And then we have a rear escort.
Without prior consultation on these new regulations, stakeholders feel the industry is being unfairly singled out, while other factors like reckless driving are being ignored.
For us here at Premier Homes, nobody has notified us as yet. I just heard it through the media, and this was something that none of the stakeholders, like they're saying, we have not been informed of it at all so far. So we would appreciate, some proper communication towards us as business owners and as stakeholders in this industry, because that totally banning this completely would totally affect all of us that are in this business.
This new measure could also affect foreign investments and even pending government orders. Reports are that a meeting is scheduled for Tuesday with the Ministry of Transport. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.